Yeah, I think it's good.
Yes, despite all your efforts to sabotage me, be able to hear the quality is fixed.
I think what we could do is you start each sentence with a number so you know the order. So you're like, one, how's it going? Two, so I think I fixed it. Three, is it fixed for you?
Is yeah, I think it's fixed now, anyways.
Okay. And talk a bit. I just want to see if your eyes work.
All right, talking, 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 talking.
Yeah, looks good there. Okay. And let's see. Mine isn't quite working because I had to. Can you hear the dryer in the background?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I had to fiddle around with things so that the dryer wasn't setting off Lord Hart's gem,
Ah.
but it made his gem a bit less sensitive. Man, I got hit by a second cold in like this month, so it's kind of
Exposed to children in the factory of diseases that they are.
Yeah, well, children, and then having to work for like 2 weeks in a row, and having to get up really early and work really late at night. So like I don't have a proper sleep schedule, working long hours, doing stressful things, and then yeah, tons of children. So it doesn't help. But it's like I haven't had a weekend where it's just like I'm healthy and I'm actually not working. It's like either I'm sick or I'm working in the last like 2 months. So it's kind of
So
oh yeah, sorry, continue.
there is a function you can do, which is you can schedule streams, right?
Yeah,
So, because I don't know if you're going to do the stream or not, could you potentially do that if you're planning to do it in the day?
yeah,
Because I do not like being a hostage to checking things.
yeah. No, no, and like if you're not there, you're not there, right? That's
Yeah.
I don't want you to just sit around in case you think there might be one or there isn't one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, schedule it so you have an idea at least.
Yes.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure like this today if I'd be like being able to sit up. I've just been so sick.
Well, have you tried not being so sick?
Yeah, it didn't work so well. I just
Ah,
yeah.
sounds like a you problem. Must be like me, healthy as all.
You know, it's funny you say. Oh, that's gross. It's funny. Please don't make those sounds. We have two
Okay.
viewers right now, and I think one of them's going to leave because of that.
One of them's me.
And one of them is me.
Yeah.
I stand by what I said. But, duh, duh. You know, it's funny that you say that you don't like being held hostage by, will the stream happen or will it not? And yet you have a cell phone. You think about that?
Okay, explain to me this checkmate atheist.
Because a phone is literally that. It's this thing where it's like someone might phone you or they might not. And so you're always held hostage waiting by the phone.
No,
And why
because I
not?
don't care about people on the phone.
Well, then why do you care about the people on the stream?
Um, because I do.
Well, what's the difference?
Well, one thing I don't care about, the other I do.
Yeah, but why?
Because one's important to me and the other is not.
Yeah, but why?
Because people can leave a message and talk to me later.
Is that really the reason, though, do you think?
Yep.
I don't think it is. I think
I'm not joining your cult.
You don't have to join a cult. I'm just saying that... Oh, check out the live stream panel. I just made it so you can see the... Now you can see what's going on the stream, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think that's useful for you
see.
to have. Just so that you know what's
Oh,
going
you
on.
nut job. You're using OBS's stream?
Instead of what?
Instead of the streaming app.
That one doesn't... it's just a ripoff of OBS. This way... Remember we had this whole conversation about it last time, where this way I'm in control.
No. OBS has its own app for streaming.
I think
called Streamlabs OBS.
no, Streamlabs is because OBS is open source, so Streamlabs just ripped off OBS and monetized it.
Did it?
Yeah,
Oh. Huh.
yeah. As far as I'm aware, let me double. Oh, I deleted it. Let's see, Streamlabs. No, OBS has all the streaming stuff built in.
I know it has a streaming function, but I don't use it. I use Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah, yeah. Streamlabs OBS stole from OBS.
Well, it's not stealing if it's open source.
Yeah, I guess, but it's a little dodgy putting their own branding on your thing. Like they even called it OBS, even though it isn't.
Yeah, that's the dodgy part.
Yeah, because it's like, how are you supposed to know which one's which at that point? Like, I mean, they did make it open source, so it's kind of their fault. But still, it's nice to treat these open source projects with respect.
Yeah.
So the YouTube live control panel says there's 2 people watching, but if you go onto YouTube, it says 1 person watching. So I guess it doesn't count someone.
Honestly, when you comment on this channel, you don't appear in the comments, but you do appear on the creator comment page.
Yeah.
You don't appear on that. But if you go to the videos, your comments are there.
Huh.
There is a lack of communication between YouTube's front end and back end, which is so terrible.
Actually, yeah, Linus Tech Tips did a
It's
video on that where they said they think
shocking.
they think it's 2 completely different sets of software. Like they don't think it's even related because they act in totally different ways, and it's crazy. It's like you could just have them be the same thing.
Yeah. No, it is actually abysmal. And it's not going to be fixed because the people who actually knew how to do things don't work at YouTube anymore.
Yeah, well, I think what happens is YouTube has all these great features, right? Like fan-added translations and the auto, like you could sort of do a very basic program to automatically set up your, like a very basic algorithm to automatically populate your playlists. And YouTube keeps getting rid of those features again and again and again. And my theory about what's happening is that they don't actually want to get rid of these features. It's just when they did some update somewhere else, it broke it. And they don't know how to fix it. So instead of trying to fix it, they just say, oh, well, I guess we have to get rid of that feature because nobody wants it, right? And they can't admit.
Have you come across the abomination of the AI auto-translate?
No, I haven't.
So in my demo video, which was the copyrighted version of the JoJo song, it sings in Japanese at the beginning.
Oh, does it translate it automatically?
With AI, and to do that, it mutes and lowers all other audio form to try to translate the Japanese.
That's actually kind of cool, though. Like
to English with a very basic robotic voice, and it just completely destroys the audio quality.
but that is a neat idea. That like, I imagine if it wasn't a song, it would do a lot better.
No, I've seen it with other things. It is terrible.
Okay, but if that's all you have, right? Like it's a, I kind of want to try that now.
People would rather watch the video in a language they don't understand and still hear the person's voice.
Yeah.
Than hear the AI voice.
Does it just automatically go off, or how's it work?
It's automatic, and you can't turn it off if it's on your phone, unless the video creator turns off that setting, which I've done.
Okay. So
if you do it on your computer, you have to turn it on yourself, but if it's on the phone, it's automatic and can't be controlled.
Let me see. Let's see if I can get it to trigger. Do I? I don't see it. Maybe it's only on certain videos. I just pulled up a Russian video and I'm trying to...
They might have turned it off. It's like only certain creators. It's a demo thing.
Okay. And I do have a lot of like other things going on right now as well that might stop it from working. Like I've got a lot of stuff to change how YouTube works, so that could be the problem there. You've played Olden Era?
I've played it a little bit.
I got to turn 6 and I was like, I'm done. I'm bored. I'm just...
Really?
Yeah. I was just... And I wrote up a huge write-up. I posted it under Norvo's video and also on the Heroes community. It's like I exceeded YouTube's character limit, so I had to do it in 2 parts. Yeah, it's basically everything I don't like about it. And the few things I do like. But like the art style is terrible, the UI is terrible, the UX is terrible, the music is very generic, like Lord of the Rings sounding, sort of whatever. The main menu theme, that was not a demo. That's actually the song. I'm so disappointed because it's terrible. The it's the unit design is like World of Warcraft combined with impossible to see blurriness. The game runs flawlessly on my 1030 at max settings, so that part's really impressive. I mean, it's not that impressive given what it looks like, but it's so rare these days for a game to actually be optimized.
Yeah.
That I am like grateful to them for doing that at least.
No, I have 2 demo delves planned for both Olden Era. I have to play it more, and I have one planned for Mechanicus II.
That has a demo
Which
out?
they released a demo, and
Did you play Menace's demo?
no,
Okay.
I didn't know Mass's demo was out.
Yeah. So there's a third one
But
for you.
I guess so.
It's complicated. Play around with it a bit before you.
I fear my opening lines for the Mechanicus demo delve
Yeah.
is from the moment I played this demo. It disappointed me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's a real shame because the first game is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm still... Because I just don't want to play too many campaign games at once. Like, I really like it, the little bit
Yeah.
I've seen, but I just have too many campaigns going on at once right now.
Yeah.
So.
No, so I'm actually... What I plan to do is I'm going to play through the demos to the full extent I can for both those games. And then I'm going to go and play the games they're doing. So I'm going to play Mechanicus 1 and record that and then compare them. And the same with Olden Era. I'm going to record Heroes 3 and Olden Era and do a little bit of a Croby Cat comparison.
Oh, like the side-by-side sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
But
recommend...
unlike Croby Cat, you're going to have to hear my annoying voice and opinions.
If you want to read my thing, it's on Heroes Community. But I think I do talk about... Like, I go in depth. I don't just whine about the surface level stuff. Like, I actually talk about, like... when you right-click on a unit during combat in Olden Era, it opens a unit panel instead of just displaying the unit stats, like it does in every other Heroes game. And
Did you figure out how to make the castles usable in the options?
yeah, no, that was like the first thing I did.
Default is sickening.
But the problem with that is that if you want to compare unit stats quickly and go back and forth, you actually have to do twice as many clicks, and you also have to click in different areas. So there's a bit of precision there versus right-click and release.
Yeah.
So it's actually like it makes the game unplayable. I think the game has 2 flaws that thankfully are easy to fix. Like I think the art style is a huge flaw, but it doesn't make the game unplayable. But the right-click opening a separate unit window, like it does in Age of Wonders, is a terrible idea for a Heroes Might and Magic game. And the second huge flaw is that victory screen is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And it's a failure on so many levels. It gives you almost no information. It has a delay before it displays anything, so you have to wait.
It doesn't play music constantly. It's on victory music.
Well, it didn't in Heroes 3 either. It would just play the victory song. No, in Heroes 3, it plays the victory song, then it goes quiet.
Yeah, the victory song's nice.
Yes. And all the icons in the game, they're not squares, right? They're tiny little circles or hexagons, which means there's a huge amount of wasted space. If you look at the building screen, about 2/3 of the building screen is empty space. And then there's these tiny little icons that you don't even know what they are. Like, there's no... They made it a game. I think what happened, I have a theory, that Unfrozen was like, we want to make an Age of Wonders game, like a Master of Magic Age of Wonders style game. And so they started working on it. And then they talked to Ubisoft and like, hey, can you publish our game? Because we got this Age of Wonders game. Here's our demo. Ubisoft looked at it and they're like, make a Heroes game. And now they're forced to cram a Heroes game into an Age of Wonders style game. That's my theory.
That's quite possible, actually.
Because it's trying to copy Age of Wonders in so many different ways that doesn't work in Heroes. Like those focus points, terrible idea.
Yeah. One of the things that... Well, that's a lot like Armored Princess, actually. Armored Princess had that.
Oh, yeah?
But you know how each capital building like the undead has the giant Grim Reaper on top of it?
Yeah.
That should be the final upgrade. It shouldn't start there and the building gets slowly bigger underneath it.
Yeah, that was weird. And like the buildings are so high, like there's high fantasy and then there's like, I don't know what you call it, epic fantasy maybe? Like it's too much.
Yeah.
It's way too much. It's like...
and
where are the buildings in the town?
Yeah. I do like one thing they did with the undead.
The boatman going down the river?
No, they recognize that vampires are the strongest unit.
Oh yeah, no, that was a good idea.
Also, one of the undead heroes is Idris.
Oh, that's fun. Is that the King of Kings one or?
No, his name's very close to Idris, and he looks like Idris.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that one of the necromancer abilities when you upgrade necromancy is Lord of the Dead, which
Yeah,
that's fair. They can have their little fun little cheeky reference in there. I don't mind that.
yeah.
But I don't know what they're thinking with the art. Like it's so bad.
I, well, I'll keep my powder dry.
Like the if you could zoom in on the model and look at it, the individual models look quite nice. So, but it looks very Warcraft. It doesn't look fairy tale. It doesn't look fantasy, except for the Griffin. The Griffin looks great. But the problem is you can't actually zoom in close enough to really see the details. So you have these highly detailed blobs that you can't make out any individual features of. It's like how with pixel art you want to keep like look out on the screen right now. They don't put like tons and tons of details on the pixel art here. And that's because you wouldn't be able to make out the individual details if it was too busy. But they make their game so busy, it's like this blurry mess. Like it looks like an old PS1 game where they put too much detail behind like this blurry filter essentially.
Yeah, no, I did notice that. It's not very like they have an option to turn on and turn off outlines,
Yeah.
and your game shouldn't require that.
No, I think it should work without that. Otherwise it's kind of a failure.
It's like Heroes 7 all over again. Or League of Legends. Actually, that's what the game bloody well looks like.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
No, it looks so much like League of Legends. Actually, kind of crazy. Okay.
Yeah, and the combat as well. Have you noticed the battle arena is about half the size of Heroes 3? And I think that's
It
because
does feel a
they
little
made
small.
I think they did that because the battles were way too slow because of all the other changes they made. So
Yes.
they were trying to speed it up, but instead of making the combat fun and engaging, they just made the battle arena smaller.
There are things I like they did in combat, like the units that have a reach of 2, and so it stops you from hiding your archers behind a blob of units.
I'm torn on that one. I've seen some people saying they like it, but I'm like, I thought it was weird in Heroes 4 when they did that, and I don't know. I don't like how all units take up a single hex, even like the Hydras
yes.
and the Dragons. That's really weird.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know when I'll have my videos for these done, as both games will take a long time to come out, so.
Yeah. I'm not going to do a video on Olden Era. Like, I just can't stand it. Like, unless that video is me talking about how I can't stand it. I mean, look, it's got a lot of good going for it. I don't want it to be all negative. I just can't. The UI as it is so annoying to work through. It's like a slog, and I can't record a video for something that I'm not enjoying. Like,
Yeah.
I just run out of steam immediately. One of my more recent videos was me I was playing a bit of a JRPG. I was tricked. I thought I was going to play a roguelike, and it turned out to be more of a JRPG. And
Oh, they're so different from each other.
they're incredibly different. And
I felt so boring.
how dare you? You liked Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Yeah, that's a rhythm game.
It's also you don't like rhythm games though.
I know.
It's funny because it's a hard rhythm game too, and like you beat it.
Yeah, I know.
But I just
It,
can't bring
it
up
ha-
enough joy to keep playing it.
it hits the right blend of things, though.
Like I said, I was done my turn 6 when I was playing Olden Era. I was just like, I can't keep going. Like part of it was my eyes were starting to hurt because I was squinting at everything so much. I couldn't tell what was
No,
what.
you should be able to zoom in on things, so you can actually look at
But
them.
like all the icons as well, like they have all these floating. The UI. Apparently, they're working on trying to fix the UI. And if they fix the UI and they fix the right-click menu,
Yeah.
I think it'll
Well,
be a game that could rival Heroes 5 in terms of goodness.
that's my hope for both Olden Era, from the little bit I've done of it, and the Mechanicus, which is quite a way off. They don't even have announced release.
Yeah.
Is they can do a lot to change it.
I just don't trust companies to do that anymore. Like Hero 7 had a lot of potential, I think, and it just
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's uh, the
that's an
the music.
Unfrozen. They are like passionate people. Like I do think
Yeah,
they care. It's just the question is, will Ubisoft let them?
yeah. The music of Mechanicus II was more dubstep than gothic pipe organ at one point.
Oh, so a little different. Is it still
Yeah.
Gilliam who's doing the soundtrack?
Yes, he's still
Yeah.
doing it,
But I
and
mean,
maybe it's just that one song.
a guy like him, like he has to keep trying different styles, right? Because he's clearly like he's one of the more creative composers out there right now, I think. And so I can totally see like every game he's going to try to mix it up because like who does whatever that was before like sci-fi church organ?
Yeah.
There must be a way to mute myself. What if I do
I
this?
I'm also really struggling with a mod review I'm working on.
Yeah.
It's in Fabric, and Fabric has different mods than Forge, and the mods are pale imitation of Forge's mods.
Mm.
And it's also in the latest version of Minecraft, which changed some UI things, and Fabric might have changed some UI things. And it's actually really hard to use. Like, it is frustratingly hard to use. One thing I do like, but I like it, but I also hate it because it's new, is the latest version of Minecraft changed all the villager all the spawn eggs.
Oh, do they look different now, or are they not eggs anymore? Or?
Yeah, they look different now. So the cow one has little horns. The villager egg looks like a villager and it's got a nose.
Oh, instead of just being colored blobs.
Yeah, so you can actually see which creature you're spawning.
But it's a bit over-designed, maybe, hey?
It feels like it's killed some of the spirit of Minecraft, actually.
A bit too much detail in one spot, I think.
Yeah, it's...
Olden Era is this weird mix. Like, the UI is incredibly minimalist, mobile, like,
Yeah.
gross, modern. And then the game itself is completely the opposite. It's, like, way too much detail. It's this really jarring... I think my theory is that the UI is the way it is so that you can...
Play it mobile?
Play it on mobile, yeah. Because you can't even click on an icon and then click to move a creature. You have to click and drag, which is kind of suspicious. And then if you tap on a creature, you know that radial menu pops up around it? And it's like, it might actually be designed for controllers. That might be why the radial menu is there, I'm not sure. But that said, the units are so detailed and hard to see, and it doesn't let you zoom in, that it would be impossible to see anything on mobile. So I really don't know what they're going for.
Yeah.
Did Idris have like a bad UI or?
Idris's UI was good.
So, because I wonder if the developers just don't know what they're doing or something. But
No, Idris had a fun UI.
okay, so I don't know.
And there are elements of the UI that I actually really like in Olden Era, like
Yeah.
opening the spellbook.
I don't. The spellbook again is like I don't like it. It's so like. Well, for one thing, it bobs
I don't
up
like
and
the
down.
spells, but I do like opening the spellbook.
Oh yeah, no, the spell. Well, the spells have cool effects, but they're so complicated. It's like this is. I don't want
Also,
to be
lightning
doing.
bolt
Like,
should be a level 2 spell. You should have magic arrow at level 1.
did you see how chain lightning doesn't chain? It's just the same spell
I
effects.
have barely played it, so I
mirrored over and over and over. Yeah, I watched Norvo do a full playthrough of a map, so I have that. But there is some cool spells like Rewind Life instead of Resurrect for some reason.
Yeah.
There's a few things where it seems like they're trying to avoid... I don't know if they're trying to avoid religion or what's going on. Like the Chapel of Stilled Voices is now called Stilled Voices. It's like, how do you build stilled voices? That doesn't make any sense.
And they
then,
don't got me.
But the Resurrect seems to be replaced with Rewind Life. But I'm playing as a hero who his specialty is he can resurrect units even when no one has died yet. And it's actually really fun. So, you know, I have like 40 skeletons. I cast Resurrect on them, and now I have 100 skeletons. And then I can just start raining arrows on them. So it's a pretty fun... Like, the specialties are pretty cool, some of them.
Yeah. No, but it doesn't have me, and that's very disappointing.
Oh, no Sandro, yeah. And no Lord Hart. I mean, Lord Hart isn't a character that...
Well, I mean, a lot of those characters, you can give the excuse that a lot of these characters would be dead and gone,
Yeah.
but you can't get rid of Sandro.
They still have Zam for some reason, I noticed. And I don't... The dungeon disappoints me because, like, 2 or 3 of the units are just variants of Dark Elves.
Yeah.
But I talked to someone and they said, like, I didn't talk to someone. I was just complaining about this in my comment. And someone pointed out, actually, the continent that this game takes place on is the one owned by the Dark Elves. So it makes sense for a faction to, like, how the humans in most games, they have like 2 or 3 different humans. They said this
Yeah.
would be the one continent where it makes sense to have 2 or 3 different Dark Elves, and then every other faction just has one of each species.
I'm also worried about the bugs that I've seen because I feel like those bugs are Kriegans.
No, the bugs are something else, I think.
Okay, they're a
Yeah,
different faction
and
than
they
Kriegans.
apparently they want to completely redesign the hive because people were getting confused by they're like everything looks the
Thinking
same.
and thinking that the Hive are Kriegans because that's what I think.
No, they want their new thing. So they have like a Lovecraft faction, they have a bug
Yeah.
faction, they have the Sylvians, which are like sort of creepy elf tree dryad things. I don't like so many of the choices they made actually like trying to have. So one of the big ones, so you open that right click menu and it gives you a bunch of abilities, but then you have to hover over the keyword of each ability to figure out what it actually does. But once you learn
Yeah.
the keywords, it's fine, right? No, they're different. Even if they have the same keyword, they actually have different effects. So for instance, the elves have this bouncing glaive, the dark elves, which
Yeah.
on one of them, it's so both of them have the same ability, it says bouncing glaive. But then you hover over it, and on one it says reduces defensive opponents by 1, and on the other it says reduces defensive opponents by 2. So they're different effects that you can't tell unless you hover over it. So a very simple fix to that would be to call the ability Bouncing Glaive 1, Bouncing Glaive 2, right? That would fix it
Yeah.
right there. But it's still like, why does every creature have like 5 abilities? It's too much.
Yes.
Like, this isn't Age of Wonders. Right?
And each creature has an alternative attack.
Yeah, and I'm not... Like, I think Heroes of Might and Magic is at its best when you click on the opponent and your creature moves over and hits them, and you can still have in-depth strategy from that. Like, that's very hard to do, and it's amazing that the Heroes series managed to do that. Like,
I think it's because they have good passives, honestly.
yeah. There is some fun passives in Olden Era. There's this unit called a Kitchen Horn, which is like a little, as Norvo said, it's a little Neopet-looking creature. And if you kill it, your unit goes berserk because it's so cute, and then your unit will immediately attack the nearest other unit. So they're really, really dangerous.
So one thing that, speaking of Age of Wonders, have you noticed in the Lovecraftian realm all the dire penguins?
No, I haven't.
There are dire penguins everywhere in the snow terrain and wandering around the map of the Lovecraft nation.
That's fun. Although that said, I Never Knows Best did a video recently where he talked about Lovecraftian, like modern Lovecraftian media. And he pointed out that Lovecraft said the most terrifying thing you can imagine is the unknown. And so you are totally disregarding Lovecraft if you use any of his properties because they're already known.
Yes.
And I think the reason Lovecraft, people will always say, "Oh, Lovecraft is so terrible," but I like his stuff he created because he was this racist or whatever. But the stuff he created is actually so incredibly rare because it was something new.
Yeah.
Like nobody creates something new. Everything's derivative, but Lovecraft actually created the unknown and the new and the different. And I think if you actually want to follow in his footsteps, you have to create something new, and that's super hard because he somehow found a space for it, but there's not much space left. There wasn't when he did it. Like I think Junji Ito does that a bit with his stuff, where he'll have like this crack that sucks people in, and then they come out on the other end all spaghetti, like
Yeah.
just the unexpected. And horror is a great place for it because that's what horror is. I think horror and wonder, the unknown, that's what strikes both. But I think with wonder you want a bit of the familiar, like the image of that phoenix there in the church we're in. It's like this creature that you didn't expect, but it still bears forms that you recognize, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one really cool thing about this mod I'm working on right now, making the review for.
Yeah.
So it's a vampirism mod done by the maker of one of the makers of Bewitchment. And so when you level up your vampire power, you also have to choose a vampire weakness to gain.
Yeah.
So if you I could level up Bat Step, but then I have to choose from. I could take fire phobia, or I could take rich taste, which means I have to drink blood for humanoids, or thin blood, which is my blood no longer saves me, or vile presence, which makes animals aggressive to me. So the more powerful vampire you become, the weaker you become to vampire weaknesses.
Right. Yeah, that's a fun idea. So you
And
become
you
more
get to
vampire-y
choose
as
which,
well.
yeah, so you get to choose which vampire power you get, but you also get to choose what vampire weakness you get. And then on top of that, there's a transformation called Dark Form, which turns you into a giant Nosferatu vampire. And it increases in strength the more weaknesses you have.
Oh, that's fun. So it's kind of it's very similar to World of Darkness, right? Like
Yeah, I
Vampire
think
the
it's
Masquerade.
yeah, I think it's partly inspired by that.
Because the Nosferatu clan was like the easily the strongest clan, but they have so many drawbacks. Like they'll get immediately attacked by humans on sight, and they burn in the sunlight, and like get repelled by crosses and all that sort of thing. But then the Camorra, they're like don't have any weaknesses, but they're the weakest of the factions.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
think
in the latest stories, there's things called thin bloods, which is the vampire generations that have gone so thin that thin bloods can now go in sunlight,
yeah,
but you can also shoot one and it'll die.
right. So they're super weak,
Yeah.
even weaker than the Camorra. Yeah, I'm looking at Iratus's UI right now. It looks so much better. Like it actually looks good.
Yeah.
Um, that said, they do like their flat icons. For
Yes.
and that's not very Heroes. Like the Heroes defense icon in Heroes 3 is this great big scrumptious, sumptuous like it's this
Yeah.
shield with a lion on it and the swords and
One of the big things I was concerned about, though, didn't come about, which makes me happy, which is when I was hearing all their demos, the sound effects of units fighting
yeah.
were so muted and dull. And these sound effects aren't the best, but they're actually there. And like that's something that Heroes needs is it needs that oomph and boomph of things
Yeah.
smacking each other.
What have you thought of the music so far? I found it very forgettable. Like it sounds like Lord of the Rings.
Um, Given that I can't recite any of it, it's that's my
Yeah. Like just the main menu music is memorable, and unfortunately, it's just another rip-off of Haven.
DCRA.
Dies Irae, yeah. It's just Totentats or whatever, but it's just and
Yeah.
it's like
I wish it
the
actually
worst
paid
version
off
I've
its
heard so
build
far.
up.
What was that, sorry?
I wish that the music paid off its build up.
Yeah. Well, it gets to the build up way too quickly. It's like has this very peaceful slow thing and then suddenly it's like superhero. It's like the pacing's all choppy. I'm not a fan of that. I think you can't have every song be a hit, obviously, like
Yeah.
but and it's a shame. Like I'm sure Romero has other things to do, but it's a shame that he's only doing like a handful of the songs. The other composer is a great composer that they got. It's like the Halo composer or something, who's an amazing composer. But Heroes isn't just bombastic music. It's actually like it almost always has this link to classical in some form or another.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Who's the other composer? Or maybe he's the Warcraft composer. I can't remember. Let's see. It is Chris Velasco, who is God of War, Bloodborne, StarCraft, Borderlands, Mass Effect.
Ah.
Okay. Yeah, so StarCraft is maybe the closest there where you'd actually have songs that fit the faction, but most of those games it's more background music rather than defining the faction music, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
No, Mechanicus. Oh my god, I haven't.
So I will. Oh, you came back.
I never left.
No, you're. That was weird.
Ah.
Your Ninja account just closed and then opened again. So,
Okay. Well-
I guess you had an internet interruption or something.
Did you hear what I said?
No.
Okay. My biggest fear with it is that there are two main heroes: the Necron hero and the Mechanicus hero.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, you assemble armies of Skitarii or armies of Necron warriors to fight, and you have the one hero leading them.
Yeah.
In the first game, it's you have 4 Mechanicus priests, which you individually upgrade, and then there's 4. You have other ones for different missions in the future as your spares. And then the Skitarii are supplementary troops that support them, but they are by no means the main thing. And Skitarii are actually really boring because they're not that sophisticated. They get like 1 power each. And the game's based around massive amounts of combos that you build up over time with your 4 Mechanicus priests working together.
Right. And this one, I thought in this one you could play as the Necrons, can't you?
No, you can play as the Necrons, but again, it's like I don't know how they'll do that with the Necrons because they seem to be focusing on the Lord, and then you have a bunch of units that go along with them instead.
Right.
And also, its UI.
But
is
surely
so
they
much-
added more abilities to make them more interesting than they were in the first game.
Yeah. They have the UI has so much less soul than the first game's UI, and the sound effects are so much less there, and it's annoying to control things. It's
I wonder if there's like the only sequel I think I'm interested in right now is
I think what's his face even touched on this. Mandalore touched on this when playing the first Mechanicus. The game feels good to play.
right.
Like the game feels good to play. That's one of the big things about Mechanicus. Number 2 does not feel good to play.
Right. And hopefully that's something they because the nice thing about like in a weird way when numbers are a bit off and when the UI is a bit off, that can be fixed. But when the art style's off, like that's what you get. You get what you
No,
get.
the art style is still there for Mechanicus. There is that.
And the music, I guess they probably can't fix if you're not liking that. But
Well, I think they're trying to keep their powder dry on the music as well. But from what I've heard so far, it's either been disappointing or it's like, why is there dubstep playing?
right. Yeah, I think you'd want to lead with your best song, really. Like that would be, get people involved. Although Heroes of Might and Magic doesn't do that. Like, Heroes 3. Well, all the songs are so good in Heroes 3, though. Which game
Heroes
has
5 definitely leads with it. My goodness.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I think the Elf song is my favorite, but yeah, the Haven is really good. What's your? I think Heroes 3 has the best music, but that's a hard one. They all have such amazing music.
I love Heroes 2 music. I love how much opera it has.
Yeah, but I just think Heroes 3, like even the campaign themes, like Sandra's theme, or the Necromancer theme, like the Barbarian theme, the Rampart theme, they're all so good.
I think my favorite song might be from number 5.
With the Haven or the
Yeah, I think it might be the Haven song. It just has this epic build to it.
Yeah, I think my favorite song is the Stronghold in number 3, like the Barbarians.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my favorite song in all of Heroes. Although Sandra's theme is really good. Big fan of Sandra's theme.
I really like the enemy AI acting song.
That one's so
I do
stressful.
not like that song.
It's a good song. It's just it's not happy. You don't want to hear it.
Yeah. It's yeah, so you're saying that Dread or whatever is out too?
Yeah.
And it's a complicated game?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like you don't get to play the proper game. You just get to go through like a sort of roguelike structure for the like a little like FTL or Slay the Spire, a bunch of nodes. Just to get you used to the game basically. And you have like 5 hero units, which are just soldiers, and then they have a squad with them. And so it's kind of like XCOM, but you outfit your hero, and then the squad kind of follows suit. But you can have some variety in the squad, and it's a really weird way to do it. Like the heroes actually talk to each other all the time, and they have like back and forth, but the units within the squad can die. And it's but it doesn't quite feel like XCOM. It's more like a war game or it's a weird mix. I'm not.
Yeah.
It was a lot at once. I was like, wow, this is. I don't actually want to play this right now because I think it needs a bit of time. Like it's one of those things where they're like, this is what where we are at right now, but you can definitely see it getting better from there. And I think I, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be different from Battle Brothers. It's going to be very
Oh,
different.
I could very much tell that looking at the game.
Like, it's much more about warfare. Like, you can call in airstrikes and stuff, and it's very... Like, in XCOM, you move and you shoot. This
Yeah.
game is much more move or shoot, so it's kind of annoying. Like, you have to either run into fire and take a bunch of hits, or you have to sit there and not be able to hit anyone because you're so far away. So
Yeah.
it's very tricky to advance position, which is kind of true of warfare, I guess. And I'm not really sure how the sniper attacks work, because whenever I clicked on a unit, they would die. But I think it's just like Age of Wonders, where the squad is, made up of it is just to represent how many hit points you have, essentially.
Yeah.
But whenever I clicked on a unit in the squad, that was the unit that my snipers would shoot. So I'm not really sure what was going on there.
Huh. That's a bit like the weirdness in Middle Earth, the War for Middle Earth game.
Yeah, where like each unit has their own like armor and stats and everything.
And hit points, and the units of Agmar can lead them, and so modders had a huge amount of fun with that.
Yeah, no, I think it's very similar to that, actually. How like each unit is unique, but on the other hand, they just make up a unit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this
Yeah,
weird
no,
mix.
like some of the mods that they've done for that game really utilize that.
And just like every unit's different in the faction or something.
Well, it's like your unit can be leading a bunch of units that are all different and weird. And
The one thing that Menace does, which I haven't seen an XCOM game do, I don't know if XCOM 2 does this, but vehicles are not a rare thing, and they're common. You can just outfit your squad with vehicles, and then you can just drive in like a tank and start your machine gun going, and your turrets blowing up buildings, and like it's pretty cool that there's just vehicles.
XCOM 1 had this very funny thing, which was the unit on the gun platform that you could drive around.
Yeah.
It was meant to, like, if your soldiers are injured, you bring this thing with you, and it can take the place of one of your soldiers.
Yeah.
And the whole idea behind it, though, is it never levels up. It's very hard to improve it. You can basically upgrade it once in the game to make it slightly better. So it's like, it's not a good option. That thing was so good, stats-wise. It's basically always worthwhile
But you
taking
just
with you.
always have it. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it couldn't level up and all that stuff, it was just such a solid piece of kit.
Yeah, that's I guess that's why most games don't have vehicles, probably, is because it's so hard to balance.
Yeah.
But what this game does, which actually kind of makes sense with Menace, is I think only certain heroes are vehicle drivers. So
Yeah.
that means, excuse me, that means you'd actually need to have someone that could drive a vehicle. So in the starting squad they give you, you get 5 heroes, and only one of them can drive a vehicle. So you're always going to have a vehicle, so it kind of limits you in that way.
So there's a potential guest,
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. People, huh?
They haven't shown up?
No, it's just they are being vague about when they are free.
Yeah.
They said maybe later, but I might have to do something tonight. It's like, what does that mean exactly? So, so I think what I'll do is, if I do get news from them and they say like, oh yeah, Saturday would be amazing or something, I will schedule it ahead of time so you can tell. But if you don't see anything,
Yeah.
don't worry. Don't be checking if you don't want to be checking. Don't treat
Yeah.
it like a cell phone, constantly harassing you, and it's that thing that's stuck in your life that you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
And someday we'll get this figured out, maybe. Or maybe I'll just have to give up on it. So, but, was there something else here that I wanted to set up? Is it related to Olden Era? Nah, I don't know. Oh yeah. Well, I guess I can talk about it if we ever get a guest. But we had like racism training at work the previous weekend, which is why I worked all for 2 weeks in a row because I had to work for 9 hours doing this racism training on the weekend.
Are you racist now?
Which was super annoying, but it might be enough to take me from amateur to pro, so it might be worth it in the long run. But no, it was so bad that my one of my coworkers, who's from Europe, was saying to me like a few days later, she just like took me aside and she was like, "Is this like what everyone believes around here? Like, why is everyone racist? Like, I don't like, it's just racism and the other way around. I don't understand." And she was actually super upset, and I had to talk to her for like half an hour because she was just like, "This is horrible. Like, what's going on? Why is everyone so racist?" And and she's like, "Does everyone think like this?" And I was like, "Well, no, it's more of a class thing." And she's like, "Oh, okay, so it's like the uneducated people, like they just go along with it because they're told it, but then like people that have gone to university, they're taught critical thinking, so they don't go along with the stuff." I was like,
kind of the other way around.
Kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
And so it's funny, just the European perspective.
I think the closer thing to tell a European on this is it's kind of like a religion or a cult.
Yeah, but it's very widespread. Like it's an ideology. Like it just,
yeah.
I would say it's left-wing centric, but that doesn't quite capture it because I don't think Canada really has a left and right. We just have like two different...
Left and more left.
Well, they're not left-wing though. They're just like business crazy. They're actually super right-wing. Like in a more free, like on an economic scale, they're both like very right-wing. But you know, super right-wing means slavery and no regulations and monopolies.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you have that free-for-all, people can break free from the free-for-all. Like if you just had no regulations, let business do whatever they want. But in Canada, it's like the worst of both worlds because we have regulations to suppress small-time businesses, but not the big ones.
Yeah, you want to sell milk, eh? Wow.
Or you want to, like Canadian content. You want your YouTube channel to be able to broadcast to people. Well, you have to follow this massive amount of super expensive regulations or you'll get suppressed. And it's like, well, a big company, they're already doing it, who cares? But a little, like a single YouTuber like you or me, like we're getting suppressed by that. Technically, if they're doing their job. I don't know if YouTube ever acquiesced to that.
Google, you have to be at least a 3-time higher tier country to control us.
Well, they've done that. Like
States.
Spain
That's
was,
what I'm saying,
I think it was Spain was trying to charge Google for linking news articles on Facebook or something like that.
Yeah.
And Google said, "Okay, we'll leave. We'll just stop serving Spain." And Spain's like, wait, no. We need Google. So Google is powerful enough to do that to a lot of countries. I don't know if they could do it to Canada. Canada is one of the biggest economies on earth, although we're doing our best to, well, I guess we're
Venezuela.
We're increasing our economy, but we're lowering our economy like our GDP per capita. So I guess we are staying relevant in that sense by doing that, but it's a pretty nasty way to do it to yourself. Mm-hmm. And we're one of the biggest, not in terms of scale though. Like, I don't know if you've seen a comparison of the G7 countries and the BRICS countries, but they're two like giant economic blocks. But China and the United States make up like half of the economy of their personal faction. Like everyone else is like this tiny little blip in there. And then it's just like China and the United States make up like all the money of that faction. But no, the racism training was very difficult to navigate because it was mostly focused on First Nations. And I was one of the few non-First Nations in there, right? Although we're part Inuit or something.
Inuit and Cree. And it wasn't Korean, it's Jewish.
Inuit, Cree, and Jewish.
That's the one that was out there that I thought might be Asian. It's not that, it's Jewish.
I thought we knew we were Jewish from some other thing that we had.
Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah. Well, except we're not Jewish because Judaism isn't inherited through DNA, but technically it's inherited through the mother. So, I mean, it is DNA, but if your father was Jewish, you're not Jewish, right? So.
Well, there's the religion and then there's the ethnicity.
Yeah, but the ethnicity is only passed down through your mother as well.
Yeah.
So. It's amazing.
Well, maybe it was, and we just didn't know.
Yeah. Well, no, because you would know, right? Like that's kind of the point. Your father could be anyone, but your mother, it's pretty hard to get that one wrong.
Yeah.
Unless you're like swapped at birth, I guess in a hospital setting or something. But it had the section where you had to define racism, and so we're like, okay, well, it's discrimination, and then the teacher's like, no, it's not discrimination. It's believing that your race is superior to another. And I said, no, like the Balkans are incredibly racist to each other, but they're not. They don't think they're superior to each other. And she's like, well, I don't. This is about Canada. We're not talking about Yugoslavia or whatever. And I was like, oh, there's also like Turkey and Greece. Like they're racist to each other, but they're the same race of people. And then she said, no, this is about Canada, and so it's that white people have more power, therefore they are therefore they are racist because they have more power. But then another section of the book said, to deal with racism, you should use your moral superiority of numbers in order to combat racism. It's like, wait, if you have a moral superiority of numbers, then you are the racist ones, according to your own definition previously. So it was self-contradictory even of itself. And the main thing that really upset my coworker was the section on colorblindness, where they said colorblindness is bad because you need to treat people differently based on their race, otherwise you're a racist.
Yeah.
What? And so I got like, because that's the kind of thing, I'm sure you've been there too, where probably more so than me actually, if you don't speak up, you can't live with yourself. But it's terrifying to speak up. And so it's a very difficult thing to navigate.
Yeah.
And so the best I could do was sort of Socratic irony, right? Of like, okay, but this says this, so can you explain to me this? Okay, and then if this says this, can you explain to me this? And so then, okay, so color blindness is bad because you are assuming a default. So the example that you could actually see color blindness being bad is you could say, oh no, I treat everyone the same, no matter if they're black, brown, or white.
No, but you see, you have to treat people differently because people have different inherent experiences, and so you have to adjust to treat for that.
Right, but there is actually, I think there is actually an argument to be made in there, which is that, all right, let's go to the Stairmaster. I treat everyone the same. Come on, guy in the wheelchair. Like you do have to recognize.
Yeah, no, but then there's a double think there.
But I think, well, I think what the answer
there is differences then.
Is I treat everyone as having equal value.
Yes.
However, I can still recognize that they have different cultures and abilities and capabilities. But that's on the individual level, not on the racial level. Like,
yeah,
you don't think about someone like you're a coach for the Olympics. You want to find a new runner for the sprint. So you're like, okay, I have an airplane. I can fly anywhere on Earth to pick up a guy to train for the Olympics. I want to spend as little time looking as possible. Where am I going to go? You're going to fly to Kenya, right? That doesn't mean that every Kenyan is a good runner or is tall or what. It just means that you're more likely to find those people in Kenya. And so you'd go to Kenya. But you could find an amazing runner in China. You could find an amazing runner in Japan or in the United States. Or you could find them anywhere. One of the best runners ever on Earth was a Canadian.
Yeah.
Before he got his medal stripped from him for doing drugs. So you'll go to some place where drugs are free and legal. You'll go to Russia. You'll get your best. You'll get your
places on Earth is Russia to be
hopped up on
runner.
crocodile.
I remember I had a biology teacher. He's a bit of a weird guy. He said he used to love watching the Olympics. He would watch the Russians women's team come in, and he'd get to see the women with their mustaches and bulging muscles because the sheer amount of drugs they were on.
Yeah.
He's like, he really liked that aspect of the Olympics of seeing just how much you could twist someone genetically through drugs and various other things to make them your top tier athlete.
Yeah. How far can you go? How far can you push this thing?
Yeah. And this was the biology teacher.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like a mad scientist. But
which I always found funny.
But it's, it was and the annoying thing as well was, so the instructor wasn't from here who came up to talk about racism to First Nations. She was from the South. She's from BC. and she's
Yeah.
Cree. So she brings up her little book with like the diagram of the 4 colors and the 4 directions and the 4 types of people. You know, the yellow, red, black, and white.
Yeah.
That isn't a Western concept. That's an Eastern concept. Like,
Yeah.
as in Eastern Canada concept. Here we do dualism. Like, we have man and woman, dark and light. Like, we don't have this 4. So you come up here with the wrong culture to lecture us how to behave in our culture. And all you do is talk about different definitions of racism. And you don't even say, like she said, I don't know what it's like up here, but for instance, down south, like when the Salish and the Haida are fighting each other, when they're competing in a sport, right? Like they're doing a hockey game against each other. You want to keep an eye out because they might be a lot more violent than normal.
Well,
And
it's
that's
like having the Scots fight the English in a sports ball.
yeah, because the Salish hate the Haida, right?
Yeah.
And
Or having the Scots fight the Scots in a sports
yeah,
ball.
or the Irish, or the Welsh,
Yeah.
or the Romans, but.
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of like interesting and useful information in a way, right? It's like, okay, keep an eye out because you have these people that hate each other, and you might want to, be at least keep an eye out. But also, what she said was don't judge them too harshly for it. I don't think that's the right takeaway because I don't think you should be like killing each other out on the hockey field, right? Like I think it should be more, you should be talking to your coworker like, oh, we got this Haida versus Salish game coming up. Keep an eye on them. It would be the same like, oh, we've got a Russia versus United States game, right? Like, you just keep an extra eye out here. It might be a dirty game. But her take was, no, they're not violent people. It's just, like, people have the stereotype that First Nations are violent, but that's because they're competing against people they hate. And it's like, I didn't hear about the stereotype, but it would be a lot more useful all the same for you to say, okay, what about up here? Like, what's the deal here? Like, do the Northern Athapaskans... steal from the Dene or like, but then that would be more useful in the sense of what she was teaching. But that sounds racist right there, doesn't it? Like, it's like, let's stereotype everyone and what they do to each other. Like, okay, we got a game with Romanians, so we want to make sure everyone's pockets are sealed. And then the Jews are coming in, so we're going to have to make sure the food stands are like cheaper because they're not going to pay for it otherwise. Like, that would just be the most racist thing ever, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just teaching racism.
Really taking that card of freedom and liberty, eh?
Yeah. It's just
It's like having enough African to get the N pass.
yeah, it's just yeah. But now we can make Jewish jokes now because we're Jewish apparently, and
Yeah.
we can make Inuit jokes.
Yeah, we're allowed to make the Jewish jokes now because we weren't allowed before.
Yeah, but now we can, and we can make all those classic Inuit stereotypes. Like rubbing noses, that's one.
I think so, yeah. And fluttering your eyelashes against someone?
Oh, don't know that one. And they don't sweat, but I'm pretty sure that's just biological. I don't think that's a stereotype. I think that's just many or most Inuit don't sweat because it's not that useful in the far north.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, it must be a very small amount of Inuit in us because, man, I sweat a lot.
But I think it says something that like a European heard this and they were like, this is horrifying. Because it's interesting that Europe is the one really keeping the woke stuff alive in some ways. But I think they don't actually realize, like, I've seen this a lot where people have a talk and they're like, well, of course you got to do this and that and the other. But they don't actually realize what it's doing on the ground level until they experience it themselves. And then they go, oh, wait, this is what it means to be woke. This is what it means to not be colorblind. This is what this is actually super
Well, there's
racist.
the whole thing of the French school of philosophy exports its philosophy to the United States. The United States embraces it full-heartedly because it's from enlightened Europe. Then it goes back to France, and the French call it stupid.
Yeah, because they're like, well, like the French people are not woke, but they profess on a surface level wokeness hugely, and it's very weird. Like they hate political correctness in France. Like the people themselves hate political correctness, yet they will go after people like Trump for being so rude and racist. Like they don't understand the disconnect there. They don't understand that they're creating the very problem they hate.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's completely up to you. It's your job, your life. You have the things to manage. But I actually would have refused to do that course.
I tried. I tried. I was like, I really don't want to do this. I don't. And they're like, no, you got to do it. You have to come here. And then now the course did have some good things to it. Um, and I do think like I said, I was able to push back. I never had to acquiesce to anything they said.
Yeah.
And so props to the teacher for that at least, right? Like I was like,
Yeah.
she's like, I just want to make sure that you know the definition to like the word racism and racial and systemic racism and linguistic racism or whatever they called it. And I was like, I know what you want me to say, but I don't agree with the definitions. And she said, okay, fine, good enough, whatever. So,
Yeah.
But if I had to do it again, I don't know. Like, the problem is, I would love to say, like, oh, I'm out of this job. Like, I would just leave. But I can't find work anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, if we had options, we could make a stand. But it's very hard to make a stand without options. But the problem is, if nobody makes a stand, that could be a whole room of people that don't believe it, except maybe for the teacher, who was part of the 60s scoop. So she's gone, like, she's cracked, and I don't blame her, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's messed up. Like, she had bad stuff happen to her. I don't blame her for being a little racist. But everyone else in that room might have been in disagreement about the whole thing. And like my European coworker, she was just kind of nodding and going along the whole time because she's super foreign, right? Like, this is a bunch of First Nations, and then she's from Europe. She thinks she's going to say anything, and then, oh wow, you're just the European, you're the outsider. Like, she's terrified to stand up in that sense, right? Like, not just on a fear level, but on a, like, I don't know what I'm talking about level. Like, maybe I'm wrong here, maybe I don't understand, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But maybe everyone else in the room felt the same way, and if nobody stands up, then it just falls apart. And so I can at least try to question things so that people, because I think the problem is if you just stand up and say, no, you're wrong, this is stupid, and you're racist, you're not
Yeah.
going to convince anyone. Especially not the people, like we had one person there, she's like university age, and she's being indoctrinated with this stuff. Like, she's not going to have her mind changed with just saying this is stupid and racist. But if you get her to say, okay, square these two differences, she won't change her mind there. But maybe she goes home and she's at home, she's like, wait a minute, no, that doesn't make any sense, I don't understand. And then she's thinking, because one of the people there, she was First Nation lady, very nice, I've met her before, and she was like, okay, this is what prejudice means, this is what stereotypes are, this is what so and so is. And I said to her, no, that's not what those words mean. Like, I didn't say it like that. I was like, okay, no, I think that this means this means this, and this means this, because this is a subset of this. And she's like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'm going to use that in the future for when I'm teaching others. And so just there, I think that's enough to say, look, maybe I can't stop you from teaching the racism course, but maybe I can at least make you get your definitions correct.
Yeah.
So that you're not creating this alternate reality where you have a different definitions for words. Because when people say I'm colorblind, they're not saying I'm a racist. They're saying I treat everyone as equal value. And you're just creating this different definition for colorblindness, which means I will force everyone to my own culture no matter their unique circumstances. Like, nobody thinks that. And so you're just doing that so you can feel superior in your ivory tower and call everyone else racist so that you can continue the endless fight that you already won 40 years ago against racism. Like, they just never want to give up the fight. But it's over. It ended in the 90s. Okay, so that's like 30 years ago. But it ended in the 90s. We already beat racism, and now you just want to keep it alive so you can keep fighting it. And it's coming back because people are becoming reactionary to it.
It's coming back because people are becoming reactionary. It's coming back because the rest of the world has access to us now.
Yeah.
And even if we're not racist, they are.
Yeah, and they're also like, it's crazy because you're expected, and this is where people become racist, because they see racism is the norm. And so they see the rest of the world being racist to Americas, like Canada, the United States, and the UK. So I guess like the Commonwealth, maybe.
The Anglosphere.
Yeah, they see the rest of the world being racist to the Anglosphere. And they're like, wait, we have to be not racist to everyone else, but they can just go to town on us all day long. That's not fair. I'm going to fight with this. I'm going to get down in the mud and fight on the same level as them. Which I don't think is the correct response, but you can't blame people for doing it, right? Because it's like, it's going to warp and twist people. I think, like, I was talking to my coworker about this. When I was young, I'm still not sure about this because my memory is of, like, I don't have this perfect memory of the guy, but I had a friend growing up who I think was black, but I'm not sure because I didn't actually notice that sort of thing, right? Like I didn't pay attention to it. And I had a lot of friends that might have been Métis, First Nation, whatever, and I didn't know because it was just like they're just my buddy that looks like that. Like they didn't look like a race. They looked like John and Bill and Bob, like they looked like my
Yeah.
friends. And so it's like, what does a black person look like? It's like I don't know. It's like, okay, what does Jonathan look like? Oh, he looks like this. He's got this darker skin, and but that's just how Jonathan looks. That's not how a whole race of people look. And
I guess I got more German than you and me.
like I've never been good at noticing race, and like I don't even know people's eye colors. Like I think your eyes are green, but that's like,
My eyes are hazel.
but that's like the best I can do is like some vague idea of people I've spent my whole life with eyes. Like I think my best friend's eyes are brown. And
Hazel is very different than green eyes.
I don't know, like, I don't think I ever knew what color my girlfriend's eyes were. Like, I just don't pay attention to this sort of thing, right? And I think skin color would be the same if we weren't so heavily focused on it. Like, I don't think we would actually notice the variations. Like, obviously, you'll notice a very dark skinned person and a very light skinned person. You'll notice a difference. But I think racial differences are actually very slight, and you don't actually pay attention to them. You pay attention to the whole person most of the time. And what I hate is that this course, which is supposed to be for coaching First Nation people, now has you going at the back of your head, okay, who are the First Nations in my class? And then I have to treat them differently. Cause it's like, oh, I don't want to do that. That's gross, right? Like, that's disgusting. Like, I want them to be, oh, this is Sally and Billy and Tommy. Like, it's not, oh, there's the native one, there's the German one, there's like, that's gross.
Well, it also is actually a fact of cultural reality you do have to pay attention to. Which is, I recently went to a house of an older Japanese couple, and they got me there because they were having problems with mold.
Yeah.
And the humidity in their house was super high. And the guy's saying, my sister-in-law is always saying, my house is too dry. You should increase the humidity. And I said, no, you need to have your humidity way lower than what it is right now. And in general, this is a thing that Japanese families have to look out for is their humidity, because they have a bath culture, which is they have a big bath, they fill with hot water and have it stand there every night for 2 hours each day.
Right. So they've got problems with mold. But that's recognized in culture, not race, right? So there is a difference there, which is really apparent when, someone's been born and raised in Canada, and it's like you were talking,
It's not even born and raised in Canada. It's born and raised in Yukon versus born and raised in Ontario.
yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like this person from BC who is Cree comes up here to tell me how the First Nations think and are different. And it's like, I was raised in these traditions. I've talked to the elders. I've been trained by these elders.
That was
And you know nothing about this stuff.
that was the never recorded rant of my video where I wanted to rant about Mousie's mods.
Yeah.
So he got rid of the Green Goblin men with Zulu masks and replaced them with birds
Yeah.
with in the single sun mask. And in his he wrote an essay, basically like a bunch of posts on why he did it. And he said, people told me that this is offensive to natives and Aboriginals.
Yeah.
And part of my rant is that is such a stupid statement.
Yeah. It's like which
Because
natives, which Aboriginals.
that is a ridiculously huge group.
Yeah. And it's like
It's
which
like
group?
there's the Losiers did a DNA test recently, and Dan is apparently as British Isles as you can be.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a group that came to the British Isles first, that another group came along and killed,
Yeah.
and Dan is that first group, and they're very rare.
Yeah. He's just 100%
So
British.
when they're talking about sending people back, Dan made the jokes like, "You have to be as genetically pure as me to the Isles if you want to stay."
Otherwise, they have to get sent back somewhere.
Yes, you have to be sent back.
What was Sargon?
He was a mostly British mutt with like all over the place, but he's like mostly British.
But he's got like Jamaican or something, right? Like,
His grandfather was very like had a mix of Indian and some Africans.
okay. Yeah. So got to send Carl back to India.
Yeah.
But it's so like
No, well, Carl is a true British Empire mutt.
I was so like I wouldn't say upset exactly, but like the rest of that day, I was just not having a good day because it was just like it just feels gross. Like, oh,
How dare you?
well, it's more like just think about these people that you care about in terms of their race rather than in terms about what they mean to you.
I
Make
don't.
their race be what means to you, and also
You
like
were ranting earlier by saying, I guess you're not as didn't get as much as the German as me.
yeah, well, because you tell apart the races just
I could from the moment I was born.
well. There's a line from Hitler which is it's quite interesting because he said, like when I was younger, I used to think, uh, is this man Jewish? Like he would see a German man and he'd think, is this man also Jewish? He had this question in his head. And as he got
Yeah.
older, he would see Jewish people and say, are they even human? So at one point, he couldn't tell apart Germans and Jews very well. And he thought, like, I wonder if that guy's Jewish. And then eventually it became, are those Jews even human? Right? And
Mm.
so I think that's what being able to really distinguish a race does to you. Because then you start assigning everything, you reify it into a separate entity that is,
And then you start singing the Disney song from Pocahontas.
yeah, like they're barely even human. But that occurs because you're factionalizing them. Instead of them being a variant of German, they are now an insidious undermining force within Germany. And you see them, and the anger grows every time you see them because you know that they're there to undermine you. And imagine if we learned that India was sending Indians over to undermine Canada. And even if the Indian people that are coming over here themselves, like, they're not part of that. They're just coming over here because their government's like, oh, yeah, we'll help you out. And the Canadian government's happy to. But you would start looking at them like, are you here to destroy me? Like, are you trying to ruin my way of life? What are you, like, you start looking at them differently. And once you see enough Indian people, you can even know, like, I grew up, I had an Indian friend. And I just thought she had a slightly unusual name, but I thought that her parents just chose a different name. I didn't know she was Indian, but now it's very obvious that she's Indian, or Pakistani, actually, I think. Or actually Bangladeshi, technically, but, whatever.
Okay, the India and Pakistan's not something to get mixed up.
They're the same people, they're just different religion.
I know.
But I think she's actually Bangladeshi. But
Well, no, that's the funny thing though. Saying they're the same people,
yeah.
different religion, but that's like calling a Welshman British,
Well, it's
or
not
even deeper. That's like calling a man from Cornwall British.
No, it's different because Pakistan's an artificial country. Because India and Pakistan, there was like a religious war in India, and so they said, fine, all the Muslims go this way, all the Hindus go this way. And so they
Yeah,
actually...
but I mean India. But it partly is true because India is such a huge region in general.
Yeah, like India itself, like India is basically... calling it a country is almost wrong. Like it's like 22 countries. But
Yeah.
but like they basically kicked out all the Muslims, and that became Pakistan. So it is just it's just the Muslim Indians are Pakistan, right? Like it's an artificial country.
Yeah.
So it's and it wasn't like a nice event either. Like obviously it's very hard to just kick out a bunch of people. That's going to cause a mess on all sides.
Yes.
But
Well, I think the start of the mess was turning it into one country.
yeah, well, that's like a lot of African countries are that way too, where it's like they just need to settle down and like redraw their borders.
Organize.
Just everyone sit down. Let's start again. Let's have some borders that actually make sense.
You know the pulling bulb meme where it shows the Holy Roman Empire. He's like, "Oh, I don't feel so well," and then the surface of his clay starts bubbling,
Oh, and just like explodes.
explodes into all the states with the empire collapse.
Well, that's so India. Sorry, not India. Italy. They're actually very similar to India in a way.
Yeah.
They had a whole bunch of different cultures that were in the same region for ages and ages and ages, since the collapse of the Roman Empire, basically. And just before like World War II, Italy was united, and then Mussolini was like, "Okay, how do I keep this mess together? Because these people are not the same people at all." And so,
All right, guys, we are Romans.
so he created a nationalist movement to make them all Roman. Yeah, essentially to say, "Okay, we're all Italian. We're going to make up a new culture called Italian that will bind our country together." And so far, it's actually worked. So, say what you will about fascism, but
And there it is.
but well, I had to get my German cred back, because
Yeah.
you were saying, but I do think like even then, like you say, you can tell apart races, but can you? Because each country, like,
Well,
can you tell apart an Italian from a different district to another district, or like a German from a different district to another district,
well,
or
that's the weird thing. Like joking about German, and half our family's German.
yeah,
Like half our family is super German,
yeah,
except they're not.
yeah, they're Sorbian, but during World War II, the Sorbians were forced to adopt the German language and the German culture. So,
Yeah.
like, they got lucky in the sense that they weren't forced into the concentration camps, but they
Oh,
were.
they were. It's just to a lesser extent.
But their culture was destroyed and their language
Yeah.
was destroyed more or less. I think there is still like actually a decent number of Sorbian speakers around. There's like 20,000 or something.
Yeah. Well, even a Sorbian speaker is a weird thing because Sorbish, which is the name of the language, is basically German Serbian.
Yeah, there's 20,000 left,
Yeah.
and it's spoken by. So it's two different languages: Upper Sorbian and Lower Sorbian, and it's related to the Indo-European languages in general. So okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like German
Most
Serbian.
close to Czechoslovak and Lechik, which is the Polish, or German Polish language.
Yeah.
So it's like a combination of Polish, German, and Czech, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Sorbish people are like the most miserable looking people on earth. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of like a group of Sorbs, but like maybe it's just the photos they took, but they are like ugly people with ugly clothes.
I mean, I've seen the traditional clothing is like
It's
nice
depressing.
and bright.
No, it's depressing.
The
It's
women
like,
wear.
it's like doilies. It's like you're draping yourself in doilies. It's like super
It's like
depressing.
white and red.
It's like faded, washed out doilies. Like you're a sad old grandma waiting to die. Like
There's a picture of the Lusterian Sorbs I just looked up, which has a bunch of guys on black horses. They're wearing black suits and top hats. They're carrying red flags.
that sounds cool. Let's see, Lusterians. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see. Get a closer picture. That looks kind of cool, but that's just normal. Like I don't know who invented the suit and tie, but that's just normal suit and tie. Like that's. But look, you know
Well-
that red? Like, where's the contrast? They need to up the contrast. Those are like faded red flags, even. Just such a
It's
depressing.
difficult because a lot of the traditional clothing is only showing the women's clothing, which does look like doilies.
And look at like the women too. They all look like they have problems. Actually, that one's quite pretty.
A lot of the pictures I'm getting are pretty.
No, they look like I don't know what condition it is, but I think it's tied to like Asperger's, but it's like the really nearsighted. Like it looks like a lot of them have super thick glasses and like those sort of squashed faces. And
Now, the interesting thing is that the Sorbians don't actually have a country.
yeah, well they do have a thingy. They have Lusatia,
Yeah.
right? Saxony and Brandenburg. Yeah, so they have like a
They have enclaves they established in other people's countries.
they have Sorbia.
Hmm.
Sorbia. It's split between Germany and Poland right now, but there is
Okay.
a region.
There's
fairly
a
large
traditional Sorbian costume, which is actually really creepy looking. Look up Sorbs Weds. So
Oh, like it's got like a
WEND.
face mask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're like covered in talismans.
yeah, that's kind of cool. What is that
It
thing?
looks like a Dark Souls boss or enemy.
Yeah, what is that? That's kind of cool. I assume that's a wedding veil that you
Yeah.
pull back when you. Yeah, here's one where it's not covering her face. Yeah, so it's a wedding. It's like a wedding dress, I think. It's like the haka. You have to be able to actually walk up to the bride in order to marry her. She tries to scare you off. Oh yeah, here's another one. Oh yeah, it's like a doily over their face. Why do they have so many doilies? I found one in color, and it's like they just shove a doily on their face.
I literally am not finding the traditional men's clothing.
Here's one. It looks actually the men's
Well,
clothing
I
doesn't.
found one. It's like green and red and these weird long green coats.
It looks kind of like a Russian greatcoat. The men's
Yeah,
clothing, yeah, and their hat looks very Russian as well. Actually,
yeah.
yeah, I'm not a. I wonder if I got like into the culture and learned more, then you probably get more angry the more you know about the culture you lost. Like, you're like,
Yeah.
right now I don't care.
Well, I'm looking at some of these pictures, and they look like Serbian gypsies.
What are they doing? They're wearing books on their head. What a weird. They actually seem to be quite the
It's like some of their clothing is actually quite Turkic.
I'm sort of surprised how like resilient the Sorbic cult, like they actually do seem to be having a lot of festivals and a lot of, like, they didn't lose their culture even though the Germans tried to get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's and the question is, like, it's a lot to keep track of. Like, if there's a bajillion cultures on Earth, it'd be easier just to call them Germans, you know. But they're basically like dark-skinned, dark-haired Germans
Yeah.
with
Who
dark
like
eyes
doilies.
who like doilies. They're just German grandmothers who got a tan. But yeah, I don't look, like I said, they're no Mongolians, or
Oh, their funeral wear is wild.
their dolls are just creepy. Sorbian
The-
funeral. I should probably, like, we're just talking about it.
Yeah.
I could be bringing it up.
You can look them up along with us.
Yeah. Why do we have to do all the work?
Get completely different searches. It's like these ridiculously huge collars slash headwear.
Oh yeah, they look like ghosts. Yeah, they just look like grandmothers. It's like just grandmother wear. Which is funny because our grandmother never dressed like this. Our great grandmother even.
Yeah.
She never.
Well, she was German.
Yeah, but she was born before the Nazis were around. So
Yeah, but her family became German.
yeah,
Our family has a history of adapting to the place they moved to.
wow, what a wild concept, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, enough of that. Okay. Yes. So I will just end the stream here. So outro. Pow. Now I don't like. I was actually thinking about this. Gay Company, like the Yogscast song they used to have.
Yeah.
The thing the Yogscast did that I think a lot of people don't do with their intro was you didn't have to sit there and listen to the intro. They started the show already. It's just it was playing in the background, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. That's important to me is like the intro and the outro, if they exist, not actually overriding anything because it's so annoying to just listen to the same thing over and over again. It doesn't make you look professional. It's just
Well, that's why I chose the outro Frozen in Time. Is the start of it
it's very soft.
It's very soft and it builds.
Yeah, no, I think it works really well where it just like you just end and then it can lead you out.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stop streaming. Pow.